I was trying to tell us your maiden name so we know your full name.
Well, Schwab was my
Schwab.
name.
So your great grandma Mary
Yeah.
Schwab Gerber. Mary what? Mary Christina is your middle name?
I wrote a little of that out.
Born in 1890 in Marisch, M-A-H-R-I-S-C-H.
Marisch.
Trubau, Austria. He came to America at the age of 2, lived in
Claflin.
C-L-A-F-L-I-N, Claflin, Kansas. At age 8, moved to Murdoch, Kansas. In 1909, married Joseph Gerber in Waterloo, Kansas, right? Church by Reverend George J. Schneider. So you were born in 1890 in Austria and Cincinnati.
It's easy to figure my death.
Your age. So this is 76, so that makes you...
And then we after we was married, we moved out here in the Cowboy, out to Fowler.
Tell us about that. Tell us about the covered wagon trip to Fowler.
Well, it took us 2 days and a half to come, and then one of our colts, young colts, got hit by a car, and we had to kill it.
On the way?
So we was one animal short.
How old were you when you got married?
I was 18 and a half, no, pretty near 19. I like 2 weeks to being 19.
Did most of the women of that day get married at that age, or was that early?
Well, no, I think they just had all ages, but then that's when I got married, and I went with Joe's brother Leo first, and then I went with Joe, and then we soon got married.
Where did you meet Joe?
Well, I was on a merry-go-round at Kingman well, I knew him before then, but we were on the merry-go-round, and I went there with another fella, and then he asked me to ride on the merry-go-round with him, and I did, and he asked to take me home, so I did.
What did the other fellow say? He brought you?
Well, he didn't. He was just a neighbor.
Oh.
It wasn't a regular beau of mine or anything like that.
So how long did you go with great-grandfather Joe before you married him?
Oh, let's see. I imagine it was about a year and a half. And we got married. And it was... and from here, we lived here until... And let's see, when was it? We went to Hooker, Oklahoma. I lived down to Hooker, Oklahoma for a year and a half. And then we came back here again.
Did you come back to the same place, that same farm?
No, we lived out there where Johnny Hines lives, and then we bought that place out to north there, or south, where I lived till we come to town. 1950 we moved to town. You're taking my picture. You're ruining your camera.
What was the best part of living in, like out on the farm? What did you like best about there before you moved into town?
Well, I think the main thing is that we had everything we wanted, garden and milk and things like that. You know, we just had everything. And go to town and I'd bring my eggs and cream and stuff in. We shipped our cream. We put it in 5-gallon cans and took it to the depot and shipped it. And we've done pretty good, I think, out on the farm. I liked it. But when Jean got married, well, then we moved to town in 1950. And we've been here ever since. Joe died in 65.
In 65. How old were you then when Joe died? You were...
Oh, gosh.
75.
Must have been. Yes, it must have been.
75. So he's been dead 11 years now.
Yeah, that's right, it is. 11 years. No, I liked it in town. Joe didn't care to come to town. When when he was out on the farm, he'd come to town every day, and after we got to town, why, he went to the farm every day. He wasn't very well satisfied either way. Look at him dance.
Well, Grandma, tell us, what was some of the earliest thing you remember when you were a little girl? What was some of the first memories that you had? The very first thing in your whole life that you remember?
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure. I can't figure out what it was.
When you were growing up, did you dance special dances like the Charleston and things like that?
No,
did you ever do
no,
those?
I never did that, but I learned to square dance when I was only 10 years old. They had barn dances, and then they was short of girls, so they made me get out there and dance, so I danced.
Did you like?
And it was a lot of fun. I kind of enjoyed it. Then, I used to dance all kinds of dances when I was older. Mr. Huslick and I, he was a cousin, we went to Odin, Kansas, and they had a left-hand polka. And nobody could dance it but me and him, so they just give the whole floor to us, and we danced left-hand polka.
What is that?
Oh, yeah, you whirl the other opposite way. And there's not very many can do that. But we was out there, and they just give us the floor. We was out there all by ourselves. I couldn't stand up after I got through. He was good. He used to live right over west here, just a couple of houses west here. That's where he died.
So tell us what you remember about your brothers and sisters. Where were you among your brothers and sisters? Were you the middle or the youngest?
Well, I must have been, let's see, there was Rosie and Frank and Trees, and then me. I was the fourth one, and there was 7 of us. So I was right in the middle.
What kind of work did you have to do on the farm when you were growing up? What was your job?
Oh, you mean out here on the farm?
Yeah, when you were a child. When I
was a child. Well, I can't remember anything, only just that we milked cows.
You milk cows?
Yeah. Yeah, I started pretty young. I didn't do such a good job, but then I milked anyway. So, yeah, we had a lot of cows.
Nathan likes all of your music boxes, I think.
He likes them, don't he? You like my music box? Huh?
Tell us, what do you remember about the First World War?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember anything much.
Any of your...
Yeah, Alvin went, and he was stationed in Tokyo. And then Gene, he went, and his address was the same. He went to Tokyo, too. And he came back, and he went to Columbus, Ohio. And he stayed there until he got married. But Alvin, he worked in the post department, and he said they just had piles and piles of mail piled up there, and the next day, maybe there'd be another truckload, they'd dump that right on top of that. Well, then those that was way underneath, they didn't get their mail for a long time. So it was kind of bad. Everybody complained about not getting their mail, but then couldn't help it. They just couldn't clear it away fast enough. Didn't have enough help.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't put more people to help.
Well, that's what I wondered. They probably didn't have enough in that work that they could use, So, it was sure a happy thing when he got to come home, boy. Because, see, they had Chuck when he went. And they come home and they lived right here in Fowler. Kate and Alvin was married at Ottawa, Kansas. I didn't get to go to their wedding. See, she's a convert. She took instructions, and after they got back here to Fowler, after they moved to Fowler to Father Mages, and then she became Catholic. I've got quite a number of, see, Lorraine's husband is a convert, and so is Kate's, and Florence's husband was a convert. So we did pretty good. Let's see. Nice to meet out there. Yeah, Carl and Dorothy, I think he's the only ones that but we're Catholic, so I when we got married. But, he's pretty proud of my family. Well, Jean's wife, too, she was a convert. She had lived in Pratt, and she took her instructions from the priest that was down here at Meade.
Tell us something about the kids that you had when they were growing up, the children. Tell us something about each one of them. Like, what do you remember about raising them, that they were like? What were they like?
Gracious, I seem to remember. It's been such a long time ago. But, it was quite short to get them all through school, I know that. And, I can't think sometimes.
Some of them liked school and some didn't.
Oh, yeah. Well, they was all pretty much alike. And I know they took, well, Carl played football. And, but Alvin, he didn't, he had to run the bus. So he never did get to play football. And Carl got his nose broke a couple of times. Which wasn't so good. And then they went to the World's Fair. Carl did, and I know, well, Alvin went too, I guess, and they come home. Boy, howdy, I had, I think, 20-some shirts to iron after we got back. Everything was dirty.
What about Lorraine? Tell us about her going to school, what she liked when she was growing up.
Well, they all went to sister school here. Every one of them went to sister school. So, and then they went out in the country too here, south here. They went to school there, but then, yeah.
How long did they do that? Just for a few years when they came in here?
I don't know how come they didn't come all the time. I can't seem to remember. But,
Dorothy.
and then Lorraine went to Washington, D.C. She took a train she had never been on a train. And she took civil service exam and passed it. And so she got up there to Washington, D.C. and she didn't, she got kind of homesick. And she came home on the train. She had never had been on the train before, and when she got to Chicago, she had to change planes there, you know, or trains it was. They went by train. And she met a lady on the train that was going the same place. She said, what's your name? And she said, well, my name's Gerber. And she said, well, I work for the Gerber baby food company. So that was kind of interesting, you know. And so she was going to the same place where Lorraine was, and she said, well, I'll see that you get to your destination. So that was a lucky thing. And then when she came home, she was educated enough to find her way home.
What was she doing in Washington? What was her job?
She was secretary. I forget what it was for. And in the morning she came home and she worked at the Fowler State Bank. And then went to Meade. And she worked down Meade down at the farm, and they got married here in Big Life. So, they've got their own home now, and they've got good business.
Tell us about Dorothy. How is she different than Lorraine?
Well, I can't say that I can see a great lot of difference.
Has she lived here all the time? All her life, or did she?
Dorothy?
Yes.
Yes, she's always lived here. Yes, she has. I don't think any of them ever moved away from here except Gene now that he's in Denver. Let's see. Alvin. And Florence, of course, Florence lived in Wichita.
She had 3 girls. No, Coletta. Coletta makes 4 girls.
Yeah, there was 4 girls and 3 boys. Alvin and Carl and Jean. And Dorothy and Florence and Lorene and Coletta. We had wedding, let's see, we didn't have a wedding for all of them. Some of them, Florence didn't. She got married. And then they went on a honeymoon right away, so we just had breakfast for them. So that's all they wanted.
They just wanted a little ceremony.
So Dorothy had a wedding, and Coletta did, and Carl, and Al, and he was married back there at Iowa.
Kate was teaching in Iowa?
Yeah. Yes, she was. She was teaching.
How old was Florence when she got married?
I think she was 20. I'm pretty sure. She was between 20 and 21. I can remember.
And Coletta?
Well, Coletta, she took her nurse's training in Wichita at St. Francis Hospital. And then from there she went to Hollywood, California and worked in surgery. All the time she was there. She was there about, 3 or 4 years, I guess. And she came home, and her and Irvin got married. Then they lived out in the country on a little farm out northeast town here. And then they came back into town.
Which of your children surprised you about getting married? Which one got married before you even thought they would?
Oh,
Any of them surprise you?
let's see.
Or did you pretty well know they were all...
Oh yes,
Serious?
they all had told me that they were getting married. So I didn't have much trouble about that part of it, and I okayed them all. It was all right. I didn't have any trouble deciding. I thought they'd done pretty well.
Yeah.
Tell us about your trip from Ohio to Waterloo by wagon.
When she was a little girl?
No, not, we wasn't in Ohio. We went from Claflin, Kansas to Murdoch.
And when you were 8 years old?
Yeah. And we moved to Murdoch. It was our address, but we went to church at Waterloo.
And that's when you were in the covered wagon and you saw that man in the creek?
Yeah.
Tell us that story.
That was quite a deal. Of course, the folks, they couldn't talk English hardly any. My mother did a little bit, but then Dad never did learn to talk English. But we was traveling along there and went over that big bridge, and we seen that fellow sitting there, he was doing his daily dozen. So we just laughed and hollered, and he says, "Now shut up over there." He says, "You know darn good and well that you should too." So the folks, they didn't know what it was all about, and I don't remember whether we ever told him what we told him and what he told us. But anyway, we had this little farm and lived by Murdoch there, and then we moved to Fowler. Then we moved to Hooker, Oklahoma for a year and a half.
But that was after you were married, wasn't it?
Oh,
When you
yes.
went to Hooker?
Florence was a baby, was a small child. She was about 1 year old when we moved to Hooker, Oklahoma. And then we didn't like it there. We stayed a year and a half, and then we came back and bought the farm out there that we still own.
Were you farming around Hooker?
Yeah. And we had a pretty good harvest, and while we were one night, we woke up and we looked out and we had stacks, you know, made stacks out of the wheat. And we had 3 in a row, and the middle one caught on fire. But they got it out. The neighbors all come and helped, and they got it out before it burnt the other 2. So we saved 1 stack of wheat. And the old Gerbers lived down there too, Joe's brother, and let's see, I guess. And we had sale. We was going to come back here to Fowler, and Leo said he was going to stay. And by golly, before we got ready to have our sale, why, he had a sale too with us, and he came too. No, he didn't. Wasn't going to stay down there if Joe wasn't down there.
You came into town then at that point? You came into town after the sale? Or
We mean right here? No, we went to the farm.
Oh.
We had a farm out there, just about a mile and a half from town, but I didn't like it out there. The services, all the priest talked about was real estate. He was interested in getting a lot of people to come in there, you know, and settle there. And we just didn't think that was good for our family. Dorothy, well, the first years we was quite a ways from school, and so we sent her up here, and she stayed with Clara and John Steffen, that was Joe's sister, and went to school up here. Well, that didn't work either. Had them away from home.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just about it, I guess.
You were talking about washing overalls on that washboard?
Oh, yes. Didn't have any way to wash clothes, only on the washboard. I'd lay the old overall leg on the washboard and soap it good and take a scrub brush and brush them. And then rinse them good, and that's the way I washed. And it was quite a while that way. When we moved back to Fowler, then was the first time we got a washing machine then, and it was one with a little motor on it, you know, and we had to stomp, you know, to get the motor started. Sometimes I didn't get it done until Joe got home.
You had to what to get it started?
Well, push down on the battery, what would you call it? I don't know, well, it was a little motor, you know, a little motor. And no, I guess there ain't any batteries, no. The little motor, and then it would start and wash. We had our garden, instead of watering it from the top, we dug ditches in underneath the ground, about a foot, not quite a foot deep, and then had tile laid in there, and then we'd water it from the end, run the water in the end, and it would go down that thing and come up through the ground. That's the way I watered my garden. That was clever. I think those tiles are still in the ground out there.
Hmm. So you always had the rows the same place all the time?
Oh, yes.
Because the tiles stayed there too?
You planted your stuff right over where the tile was.
Uh-huh.
And, oh, yes, everything you could think of to plant. So it didn't cost us much. We had our chickens and we had our milk and everything, so it didn't cost us much. When we went to town, why, we'd trade and then we'd get some cash back. Yet besides, we couldn't trade it all out because we didn't need a great lot. We had our own meat and stuff, you know. So
clothes probably were the biggest expense.
Uh-huh. And I sewed it in them days. I made the biggest part of the clothes, and I'd line them up and see what they all looked like after I had them all dressed for school. Mm-hmm. See whether they looked right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was quite a chore to sew for all of them. 4 girls.
You made the boys' shirts too? Did you make the boys' shirts?
Can't remember that I ever made shirts for the boys. Must have bought them. I don't think I did. That was, seems to me like I tried it one time. Had such a heck of a time getting the collar to fit, you know. And if they're not straight, they look awfully crooked to one side.
So you bought the fabric at the store in town?
Oh yes, for the dresses.
And you made your own
Had an old pedal machine. I didn't have an electric machine. We didn't have electricity them days. No, I think it was pretty good.
You made your own butter, cottage cheese, things like
Yeah, I
that?
had one of those old churn butters to stomp up and down, you know.
Oh, a barrel-like thing.
No, it got onto a barrel where you had to crank it, you know.
Oh,
But this was it had a stomper. It had a thing at the bottom of the stick with holes in it, and you stomped it up and down, and then it worked into butter.
What did you like for fun? What did you do? Popcorn, or what did you do? Or where the family was going to have a celebration and just have fun together?
No, we usually didn't have much. We had dances in the hayloft. But our old Joe bought a pine, I think it cost $100. It wasn't very good, but they put it up in the hayloft, and we had square dances. But then we played cards a lot too. My dad liked to play cards. He had us playing all the time, playing pitch.
Uh-huh.
You say your dad never did speak English. Was that sort of awkward for them and everybody who didn't speak
Well,
English?
it was to him. We'd have to explain it to him, you know. It was kind of hard. He just never did try. He didn't want to learn. But Mother did. She said, "You talk English to me because I want to learn it," and she just got along real good.
You learned English in the schools too.
Yes, I did.
Your mother learned it from you.
Yeah. I remember when I went to school, I couldn't talk English, and they made me come up to class, and my pencil fell on the floor, and I let out a yell. Somebody picked it up, you know, and so they put it back on the seat again, and I had to quiet down. Oh, it's awful when you can't talk. But it didn't take me long. In a few weeks, I talked English pretty good. English is easy to learn to Germany.
Let's see, Grandpa's father didn't speak English either, did he?
You mean
Joe's father?
on my side?
No.
Grandpa Gerber?
Yes.
Yeah, he talked
Did he?
English. Yeah. Yeah, he used to drive the car. He'd come out there. And the boys got mad at him because he always drove down the middle of the road. And they told him he had to stay over on his side. And he says, "Well, they can see me coming. They can get out of my way." And then when he'd come out there 2-3 times a week, and he'd gather up all the kids and put his arm around them, you know, and love them up. He liked kids. He had a full beard.
So he lived around Fowler too, didn't
Yeah.
he? Now, did your father and mother live around Fowler? They lived around Waterloo.
Yeah, they all lived in Waterloo. They died there, both there, yeah. I said I've never sent any flowers out there. My sister said there's no need in putting flowers on their graves. She said when night comes, they're all gone. Somebody swipes them. I don't know how they can do that, swipe anything off of their graves, but they did.
Well, when did you get your first car, you and Grandpa Joe? When did you first, or your first car ride?
Well, my folks had a little old Model T Ford. And we used to ride around the thing.
Did you have to get all bundled up and put those dust jackets or whatever they were called?
Well, yes. And, I had the most beautiful shawl that Mother brought from Germany. It was a beautiful thing, and we left it, we went to town and we left it in the car, and when we got back, why, it was gone. I'd give $100 for that if I could get it back. Never saw it again. We brought quite a few, and they had land, they had those, Ma had all those long dresses and full, you know, oh goodness sakes, they really big. You could make 2-3 dresses out of one.
Well, you wore those too, didn't you, Ben?
No, I didn't
You
wear
never did wear those?
No, Mother did, but we never did.
You wore long brown stockings to school, though, I bet.
Oh, yes, and long underwear, and we'd have to lap them over at the ankle and pull the stocking over them.
Mhm.
Oh, that was a chore. And then get the kids ready for school and have to do that to all of them. They couldn't do it themselves.
Did you and Grandpa build some of the buildings out on the farm yourselves, like the barn, or?
See, the barn was built, but I don't know who built it. I couldn't tell you that. You mean out here, south
Yes,
here?
out south of town.
No, we had carpenter, we had it all.
Dad,
Built the barn and the garage. The garage is the only good building that's out there now.
Yeah, that should be it. Tell us about Dean when he was going to school, or things you remember about raising Dean. He was kind of short.
Yeah, he always was littler than any of the rest of them.
Uh-huh.
He was just never did grow up.
Bet that was kind of hard being shorter among all the brothers.
Well, yes, I guess Carl is the tallest one. Carl and Lorene, they're the only ones that grow tall. The rest of them are all now. Alvin is ordinary size, you know, and well, Dorothy and Florence is kind of short. She's smaller, and Coletta isn't so tall either.
you said your mother was very...
Yes, she was short and chubby.
That's right, you said she might not even have been 5 foot tall, huh?
Well, I doubted whether she was. I never did really know her height, but then she was quite a little shorter than I am. And I'm 5 feet 5 and a half. So she wasn't very big. Her name was Beck before she married.
What was her first name?
Frances.
Frances?
Francisca, they call her. German, so Francisca.
Yours was Mary Christina?
Out there in Germany, you know, in Austria, where they didn't have a washing machine. They take the clothes down to the creek and swish them back and forth, and that's where they done their washing. That's what they tell me. I wouldn't know because I was only 2 when I left there. But it was, they didn't have it, and they said they never did have wood floors. We had dirt floors out there. Never did have wooden floors until we moved to America, to Kansas.
Grandma, when they had the wars, in which Germany was involved, did you ever feel like people were kind of angry with you because you were a German too here in the
No, we
States?
never did have any trouble. We always stood up for America. I'll tell you that. No, I'm still say that I think we was lucky that we ever moved to America. Folks never did want to go back, and they never did go.
They were never sorry they came.
You know why they came to America?
Well, my uncle at Claflin there, Bieberly was his name. He's the one that paid our way out here. And we came by boat. It took us 2 weeks to get here. And he's the one that started us out there. And he gave folks, he was pretty well to do, and he gave folks that land, and then they sold it and traded and bought down there at Murdoch. We just didn't have much of a farm there. I never did get to go to high school because we was 13 miles away from high school and didn't have a way to go, and couldn't afford to put us away either. That was the problem.
You would have had to board, huh?
Oh yeah, and they couldn't afford to put us anywhere.
So how many years of school did you get to complete?
Well, I didn't quite get through the 8th grade, but I was good. I'd have been good in high school because I could learn easy, and I think I'd have done pretty well. That is, I think I would. I don't know.
What did you like best in school? What was your favorite subject?
Well, I think reading and writing. I was pretty good in that. And, in spelling, I was pretty good in spelling. I was always at the head of the class whenever we'd have spelling classes, you know, and they'd spell down and you'd get to the head. I'd get to the head one day, to the foot one day sometime, you know, they'd pass them on. And then pretty soon I'd be up at the head again. So I was real good in spelling.
We saw Coletta's painting. Excuse me.
Did you see her painting?
Yes, and did you ever like to draw?
Oh, I could draw some, but then I wasn't what she called it. She does real good. I asked Vera the other day down there at the beauty shop. She was there. I said, "How's Coletta doing with her painting?" And she says, "Oh, she's doing swell." She says, "I'd love to have her there."
Did all your brothers and sisters do well in school too? They all like school?
Well, I don't remember much about them. We all went to school down there, but then I don't really remember. I guess they were all pretty good. They all got along all right anyhow. Two of my sisters married two brothers for the name of Hyde. One lives in Phoenix and the other one lives in England.
Tell us about the Depression. What year do you remember when it was really bad?
Oh, what year was that? In the 30s, wasn't it?
30 sometime.
I think it was in the 30s.
What was the hardest time? What was hard about
We
it?
had to put covers over the bed so the dust wouldn't come down on the kids. And on Palm Sunday, that's when they had the bad storm. Oh, it was just fierce. And we were at the neighbors down there where Vic Hageman lives now, and we couldn't find our way home hardly.
Because of the dust?
We didn't try to go home. When we got home, the kitchen door had blown open and dust in the house. That wasn't terrible. No, that was awful.
You mean you covered the kids' heads even with blankets? So
And when we get ready to eat, we'd take a cloth and wipe our plates off before we could eat. It was just that bad. Oh, that was terrible. No, I wouldn't want to go through any more of that.
How did you have enough money to live through it and not
Well, I'll
lose your
tell you,
farm?
it was pretty darn rough. If we wouldn't have had our own stuff, Joe would go to the bank and maybe want to borrow $50 or $100, and they'd give us just half of what we asked for, and that had to do a month. Kids can't hardly believe that, how we got along. Why, they spend that much in one day here.
Did you have all 7 of your children at that time already? By the Depression in the 30s? Was all of them were born?
Yes, I believe we did. Yeah, I guess so.
And the next month you'd have to go back to the bank and
Yeah,
borrow
some more if we needed it.
Can you remember what it was like when you got your first good rain?
No, I don't.
But you're glad to see it.
We used to get rains oftener than we do now. Seems to me like it's terrible now to get rain, but we're supposed to have a storm tomorrow. Did you know that?
Yeah, we did. Tell us about storms. Do you remember some blizzards when you were growing up? And when you were married, snowstorms?
Oh yes, we had one on Coletta. Coletta was born, and my sister Pauline was out here, and she had to stay several days. She couldn't get home. He was at home, and he had a lot of baby chicks, and he put them all down in the basement. Took care of them, but then that was a bad one. I think one of the worst ones I remember.
You ever, go ahead.
And that's when she was born.
When Coletta was born?
Yeah.
Tell us about having all of your children at home. You had them all at home, didn't you?
Yeah, Dr. Rob was my doctor. Had them all right there at home. Yeah, that's different than nowadays.
Now they're going back to it.
Are they really?
Yeah. People are wanting to have them at home again.
Yeah.
Having midwives.
Well,
You said Lorene went on a train ride. Was she the first one in the family to get to ride on a train then?
yeah, and well, let's see. Yes, I believe she was. And then some of the other kids, they hadn't ridden on the train, so we put them on the train here and went to meet, and we drove down to meet and picked them up. Just so they could say they had a train ride.
When was your first train ride?
Oh, I don't have any idea at all.
A long time after that.
It's been a long time, yeah. I used to come out here on the, go out there and then come back on the train.
Go out where?
I'd go out to Waterloo to my folks, and they had a peach orchard, and I'd go out there and can fruit and bring some back. I'd help Mother can, and then I'd bring some back for us.
What do you remember about hearing about the first airplane when the Wright brothers were?
I don't remember
Your feelings?
No, I sure don't.
Our first movies? When you heard movies were
Well, we
invented?
never got to movies. I wouldn't know about that because we just didn't get to go. I don't have the least idea when I went to the first movie. Not one bit.
You traveled on trains, and now you're experienced on planes too, aren't you?
Well, I like to ride on a plane. First time I went out to Phoenix to see my sister, I went to Wichita, and I went right on through. I didn't have to go change station. Now, well, I went, and then I went right straight through. And then the other time I went with Alvin's to Las Vegas, and from there I took the plane to Phoenix. And then I flew home. But I had to fly to Denver, and then I had to change planes there. That's what I didn't like.
Changing plane. What, you remember the first time you ever voted for president?
Yes, I do, but I don't remember what year it was. But then,
Remember who you voted for?
let's see. Well, I sure can't remember.
Can you remember when William Jennings Bryan was campaigning, or would that she have been too young?
No, too young for that. Oh, different stuff.
Late 1920s or 1930s?
It's been in the 30s.
You and Grandpa Joe usually agree on who should be president?
Well, we were always Democrats. We always was. It used to make Dean mad when he come to town and somebody called him a Republican. Oh, that made him mad.
Dean was a Democrat
Oh,
too.
you're
then.
darn right. You couldn't talk him out of that. But,
I think the entire family's.
I think they're practically all Democrats, ain't they? Are you? Are you? Well, good. I think John is too. He says he is anyhow.
When you voted for Roosevelt, you must have voted
Yes,
for
I
the
was.
president before Roosevelt.
Well, who was it?
Remember
That's what I was trying to think. Woodrow Wilson. Yes, I bet that's who it was.
Were you excited when women were given the right to vote?
I don't remember a thing.
What year would that have been? I can't remember. When, John? 25?
25?
That'd be 5 years or so before the decision. So you can't remember whether you thought that was a good deal or not. You just,
Yeah, that's
You
right.
can't.
Now, my brother Frank, he never did get his citizenship papers.
Oh, you did?
No. And when he married, then that made her an alien too. They never did get to vote.
You never got a citizenship paper? I wonder why. Why
Well,
did you?
I can't remember. Now, I never did have to take mine. They told me by marrying Joe, it made me an American citizen. But Frank didn't pass his, so his wife made her an alien. And she never did get to vote.
But she was born. Frank's wife was born.
And she was born in the United States, too.
But by marrying him, and she couldn't.
Yeah, she couldn't vote. That's kind of bad. No. He accidentally shot himself. He was going to butcher, and he always went out away from the house there a ways to practice shooting, you know. He always shot the holes in the head, you know. And then he thought he was too close, so he backed up and went back and run it up against the fence that was there and flew up and hit him right in the head. Killed him right there. And they had to take him to the hospital.
How old was he?
Oh, he was, let's see. I imagine he was about 40. I've got this date around here somewhere, but I don't know where else.
Grandma, do you remember about that flu that everybody had, like in 1914 or 15 and 18 around there? That people say it's kind of like the swine flu now. I mean,
Well, they had an awful bad flu when we was down to Hooper, Oklahoma. Everybody had it.
This would have been right after the First World War.
Uh-huh. Yeah, oh my, it was bad. Everybody was in bed.
What were the symptoms? What were they? How were they sick?
Oh, I don't know. It just affected them in every way. It was just, they were just sicker human beings, and you couldn't get the doctor because the doctor was so busy, and a lot of them couldn't get him on time. You know, a lot of people died down there. Mm-hmm.
Did any of your family get it?
Well, I had it too, and Joe had it too, but then we come out of it pretty good.
Did you have any? What medicine did you take for it?
Oh, I don't have the least idea. Whatever the doctor prescribed. I don't have any idea. No, that was something.
Are you afraid that we might have the same type of epidemic now? Swine flu? Influenza?
I don't know. I'm not afraid of it. I never took a shot.
Take
No, I didn't take a shot. I didn't think I needed it. Well, I don't remember the last time I ever had the flu. I just ain't subject to that at all. If I get it, well, I've lived my life. I'm ready. Don't worry me one bit. I thought, well, gosh, there's no need in worrying about it. And Cletta didn't take it either. And a lot of them asking me why, whether Cletta didn't believe in it being as she. I said, well, no, I don't think so, but she just didn't want to take it.
Grandma, when you look back over your life now, what part do you think was the most fun? When you were growing up, or when you and Grandpa Joe got married, or when you were raising your kids and they were in school?
Well, I believe bringing up my family was about the best. I liked it anyway.
How come?
Oh, I don't know. It was just fun. They got along good, and they all behaved good, and I can't complain at all.
7 children. How many grandchildren and great-grandchildren?
Well, I have 24 grandchildren, but Jana died. That makes 23 now. And 23 great-grandchildren and 2 great-greats. And I'll have another great-great in January.
Yeah, and you're 86.
Uh-huh. I'll be 87 the 2nd day of February. Groundhog Day.
John, you had a question about crops. What did you say? Well, something about what you remember about the crops that you raised on the farm? Remember something?
Well, I know it was a big deal because we had to cut all our wheat and stuff with a header, you know.
What's a header?
Well, it's a machine. Oh, I've got that picture. And it's got the big apparatus that cuts it up in front, you know. And then there's a long stem back there and had a wheel back there, and you stood up there and you took that old thing in between your legs, and that's the way they guided it around. That was the darndest thing. And we had about, let's see. Had to have a header barge to catch it. There was a thing that elevated it up there. And it took about 10 men. I had that many to cook for during harvest. I baked bread every day. 5 and 6 loaves. Well, that was a lot of work. And now then it's done. One man can practically cut the wheat now, or he can cut it and then haul a load down and then go back and cut some more. You don't have to, but then I really I worked in the field too. We had a binder and they made bales, you know, and we'd have to set them up and make them in a pot. I just out in the field a lot.
Even after you were married?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tell us some funny stories, then. You always have funny stories.
That's one thing I can't do is tell.
No.
I can't.
John
I never
Roberts,
was any good
remember.
at telling stories. My family does all that. Charles and my brother-in-law from Phoenix, he writes me one once in a while. I can't even remember them. I never was a storyteller. I'm no good.
Some of the things that happened to your family are always funny. It's hard to remember them now.
Yeah, it is. That's something you just want to forget about.
Sometimes.
You're looking forward to turkey after a while?
Oh, yes. We've got to have some turkey. Alvin said you hadn't been over there yet, so you better go over and see them before you. Huh?
Did you?
You what?
I just came from there.
Oh, you did? I'm supposed to eat lunch with them tonight. They thought I was going to be there for dinner today, and I said, well, you didn't say I should come. They didn't. You know, she says, well, we'll see what tomorrow brings. And that was it. So she said, well, you come over and eat lunch with us.
Rosie what?
Rosie, what was her name? Rosie Marie.
Was it really Rosie or was it Rosalind?
Rosa.
Rosa. R-O-S-A.
Mm-hmm.
Rosie Marie.
And then there's Teresa.
Teresa what?
Teresa. What is her name? Francis.
Francis.
And then me.
So she's
Married
married
Christina. And Anna, she has Marie too. And Pauline, Christina. And Minnie, Hermina. Her name was Hermina. I was thinking her name was short. Minnie.
Minnie what was her name?
Let's see. Francis, I think. Hermina Francis. Maybe that's her mother.
Was Frank older than you or younger?
He was older. Yeah, he was the second one. Rosie and then Frank, and then Treese. She married a Frank Huffman, too. Treese did. So I had two brother-in-laws by the name of Frank Huffman. Joe's sister married a Frank Huffman, and so did mine. And he's at Mulvane. Frank is. Treese died years ago. And he was there, and anyway, one of the lease girls was there, and he said, there's a Frank Huffman at Mulvane. Do you know him? And I said, well, I guess I ought to. He's my brother-in-law. But he used to always send me the first Christmas card, but then he don't, I guess he's 94 years old.
And the Frank Huffman here lived.
He lives
Right
up north
close.
here, yeah.
What was your brother Frank's middle name? Frank what?
I don't remember. Oh, sure. I sure can't tell you.
What was Joe's middle name? Joseph what? Here. your
Aloysius.
husband.
Now,
Oh.
Aloysius, I never knew that.
Yeah.
What was your mom and dad's name?
Well, they were Schwab. Carl Schwab and
Right.
Francis Schwab.
Oh, Carl's one?
Carl, what was his middle name?
Only he spelled his with a K. K-A-R-L, Carl.
Did you name Dad after him?
Yeah.
What was your Carl's middle name? Your father.
I don't have any idea.
Remember what your mother's middle name was? What, Francesca something?
Yeah. No, I can't tell you. I really don't know.
So Dad was named after your
After
father
my
and
father.
Grandpa's father.
Because it was Carl.
Jacob.
Oh, and your mom's dad's name was Jacob?
Grandpa's
Who
Jacob
was your...
Gerber.
Oh. Being indulgent.
He was a lovable old fellow.
Where did they live here?
Who?
Jacob Gerber.
Well, they lived up here, where the second house north of here.
Oh, they did?
Uh-huh. That's where they lived, and that's where they died. That's where, what do you call him? Jerky.
Jerky lives there? Oh, I didn't realize that.
See, John Steffen lived there a long time, and then Blanche could have lived there. They owned it, yes, you know, but Blanche didn't want any yard to take care of. So, she sold it, and Billy owned it, and then Billy sold it to Turkey.
Well,
You sure the turkey is done?
I cut it up.
Jay cut it up already, Grandma.
You did?
Before we came over.
I know it's done.
No, it's done then. Well, I made a little apple salad. steak.
Why did your family come to Kansas instead of somewhere else? Why
Well,
didn't you
that
stay
I-
in New York?
No, I don't know. That's no. Well, see, my dad's uncle was the one that had him come out here, and he lived in Claflin, Kansas, and we had to go where he put
So
us.
there was, yeah,
Mhm.
no.
We landed in New York. Of course, I wished I knew, but then at 2 years old, you wouldn't know. And,
Now, you didn't, how did he come to possess the land around Claflin? Did he buy it, or was it?
no, his
homestead?
uncle, the one that had him come out
Yeah,
here.
but how did his uncle get it? Do you know how?
No, I
That
don't
homestead
know.
after that.
I bet it was.
Did you stay
I
on the
don't
land
have the
5
least
years?
idea.
But the Homestead Act wasn't until...
I thought it was 1885, something like that.
No, I wouldn't know.
And if you stayed on the land, so, but he never, you're,
See, I was 2 years old when it came, and I was 8 when we moved to
That'd be
Murdoch.
1892.
Mm-hmm.
did he buy the land in Murdoch? Your
Yeah,
father bought that
well,
land?
he sold that at Claflin, and then bought that at Murdoch.
So when he came to Claflin, his uncle gave him some land then?
Yeah, he gave him the farm, a
Oh.
quarter of land.
How much was
There's
it?
so many acres now, I don't know. In my eyes, just figured it was a quarter. I never did hear.
How much was land at that time? How many dollars an acre?
Oh, I wouldn't have the least idea. I just don't have no idea what it would have been like. I wish, there's a lot of things I wished I knew about, but then I just don't know nothing about.
Too young at that time.
Oh, yes, and you soon forget, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Land when I started school there at Waterloo, we had church in the back, a few back pews in the church where we started school. We got sister school, Precious Blood Sisters, and they always thought I was going to be a sister, you know. They brought me up practically that way, and pretty soon, one Sunday I was published, Joe and I, and they like to fainted. That was a surprise. They said, well, I thought you was going to convent. A little bitty old church is still there. I'd like to go down there sometime and go there and see it again.
Well, as you go to Wichita now, with that new highway.
Yes, that
come
puts you
around-
pretty close
yes,
to
you
Waterloo.
See it. You see it right there. the
Yeah,
entire
you can see it
town.
right there. We walked, maybe it was a sandy road to walk to school. Gosh, we had to walk 2.5 miles in deep sand. Well, we'd stop and drink out of the creek. There was raw water there. We went over a little bridge and water there, and we'd get down there and take a drink. We was to drive
2.5 miles to school
to
and
school.
2.5 miles home, so you walk 5 miles a day just
5
for
miles
school.
a day, we sure did.
Got you in good shape.
Bet your life.
No matter how cold it was.
No, well, if it got too bad, if it was storming or something, we didn't go. But then, wasn't very many days that we missed.
So how old were you when you started? Were you 6 years old or started?
I was 7. I started up there at Claflin. And then we moved to Waterloo, and then, of course, I went to school there. And I never did get to go to high school, so I don't know nothing about high school.
All your children graduated from high school, though, didn't they? They all graduated?
Well, Dorothy didn't.
Oh.
She didn't get to finish. She wanted to go to work, so she went to Oklahoma and worked down there. And in a hospital, done some cleaning and one thing and another.
She didn't want to go to school?
No, her and Augusta Klein, they they needed some help down there, so by golly, they went down there. Where did you leave Nathan?
He's at home.
He was too noisy. He was winding the music box.
So we got a little of it.
He's pretty active, I tell you. He has a good time.
He doesn't want anything. He doesn't want to miss anything.
That's right.
Okay, I'd like to get a picture of you standing outside your house yet.
Oh my goodness.
Can she have her coat on? Are you ready to go? Okay, when you're ready to go, then we'll just take a picture outside.
All right.
Are we hurrying you, or are you ready to go?
No,
Okay.
they're playing football already.
Yes.
Grandma said Kate and Alvin were over here for quite a while this morning. She hasn't had any time practically. John, I wanted you to know some stories Grandma told us.
You got peanut brittle over there?
I don't know.
Yeah, she has a little bit, she said.
Well, I'll take some along.
She might be glad. I don't know how much she has.
I think I can see it now.